All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us here on another episode of The Chop Shop, our first brand new episode now that we are part of the Blue Wire Hustle Network. Glad to be here.
Hustle, baby.
Also, our first episode with our newest member, joining us all the way from the UK, Luke Anthony Walsh.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, presenting the newest signing of Buckle Bomb Entertainment from the United Kingdom, presenting the one and only one, Walsh Meister, Luke Anthony Walsh. Bada bing, bada boom. How you all doing? It's a delight to finally sign with the right side. And yeah, I'm here to make some money. I see you invested your new money well.
Yes, absolutely.
I feel bad. We should have given him a much better. He had to give himself an intro.
That's fine. I like it. I actually like it.
That was a great intro.
Exactly.
Boy, I hate to be the one that follows them. So which one of you guys wants to follow him?
You go ahead, Daniel.
Ladies and gentlemen, your very own, excuse me too, trivia champion, undisputed it seems, because I've yet to find a contender that wouldn't even say that's worthy, but even wants to take on the title. Your boy, DMC Grizzle. Daniel.
I mean, you said about looking for contenders. I mean, now that I'm here, I may as well just immediately state my claim to that title. So, you know, to quote a famous WCW guy, you're next.
Hey, I said on our last episode that I was taking all challengers, and you qualify for that, my new friend. So
bring it on. Game on.
The popcorn has not stopped flowing the past 2 days. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Solid.
Yes. Hi, everybody. I'm Orlando from Fort Lauderdale. 1 week until I see the first ever AEW show in Miami, Florida. So excited!
And this will be your second This is your second AEW show, isn't it?
Yeah, because they came into 2020. It was like February. Yeah. The first ever Bash of the Beach, and now they changed it to I've already forgot the name now, but whatever. But I'm just so excited to see a wrestling show. I just can't wait.
And I am your hostess with the mostest, Sarah Visick, out of Syracuse, New York. So lots to get to today. WWE has made official. King Corbin is no longer King Corbin. He's just back to plain old Baron Corbin.
Actually, I just read they're trying to get a trademark for Happy Corbin.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be that stupid kind of gimmick where he's still depressed, but they're kind of saying that he's happy, or like the serious face but he's happy. So
the thing is with Baron Corbin is that over the years he has had so much potential, and he's very much a Miz character for the modern day. He's worked so hard at his character, at his gimmick, but he's just not been given the run of the pencil. He's had the Money in the Bank a few years ago, only to drop it to Jinder Mahal the Friday before SummerSlam. And it's ridiculous to think that he went through dog food, he went through the King gimmick. Obviously now that's been passed on to Shinsuke Nakamura, but what do you do with Baron Corbin? Well, that's plausible,
Well, apparently, it looks like they're going to turn him face, which I don't want that. I don't see him as a face. Do you guys?
He's a good heel, and he needs to stay heel.
Yeah, he's an incredible good heel. I just no, like to me, he's like no.
I always think whenever you turn a heel guy face, you have to give them a credible reason for doing so, and they've just not been able to find it, even when they put him with Lacey Evans and put him against Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, because does anyone remember that happened? But it's I don't know. He's very much in limbo, but I think that's very much been the case of quite a few WWE wrestlers over the last couple of months, especially with all the firings and sort of the reshuffle within the company, is that we're finding these wrestlers who have so much potential, but not getting enough out of them for the booking each week.
Yeah, I think he's another kind of case of like a Ricochet like situation. He's like, I mean, he's the mid card master. He's you know, it's I don't they just don't know what to do with a lot of their talent, unfortunately, and it sucks because he obviously puts in the the hard work, and it's not that he doesn't have great emotions or that he's not capable. So we'll have to see how awkward this happy Baron Corbin situation is, which will undoubtedly be all very awkward.
Yes.
Pretty much.
So next up, breaking news today, The Rock scored an Amazon deal. Dwayne Johnson and Seven Bucks Productions, no relation to the Young Bucks, working with Amazon Studios. They won a bidding war on what is termed a 4-quadrant holiday action comedy, which will be called Red One, and developed by Hiram Garcia. Dwayne Johnson will star in the film, slated to begin filming in 2022 with a release of 2023.
I need to know what vitamins, what protein shake The Rock takes, because all of these projects that he's doing is just insane.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, he took over the XFL. He's doing Shazam right now. He's now filming Shazam. I think he has like a TV, a TV about himself, which he is in the show. NBC's The Young Rock.
Young Rock, of course. And
Which
he has
is fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I have to watch it. I haven't watched it yet, so.
I got a couple episodes in. I was waiting to the end, just kind of binge it all in one day. It's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, I'll probably binge it later on, but but The Rock is like so damn busy. It's just
it makes me wonder, but like we all know, I guess, as wrestling fans at the moment, is that the end goal at the moment is for The Rock to return to strip Roman Reigns of the Universal title, be that
I'm sorry, wait, you said
or the year after.
Excuse you?
It's how busy will he make himself get to give himself time to be able to get in shape and credibly get back within the fold to be able to make that happen?
Well, I mean, he's always in shape. That man always works out. So,
but ring shape's different than just regular in shape.
Wait, you don't think he's probably like training in the ring? Probably he does some like routines, maybe every now and then.
I'm sure he's got a good cardio regime going on, but when's the time he took a bump or ran the ropes?
I mean, I imagine any time that he ever got anywhere near a wrestling ring, we would have seen a photo of it by now, or somebody was he was seen walking into some building that is known to maybe have a wrestling ring in it. There would have been some sort of odd rumor at some point. So
and
I don't know if he has been.
And let's not forget, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. The last time he was in a ring in a match per se, I mean, if you want to class the whole Eric Rowan 6 seconds thing in Dallas, but his last proper match was 2013 back at WrestleMania when he popped his shoulder out during his match against John Cena. So it's whether he can be able to go against Roman Reigns, who again is in the form of his life and is in the shape of his life. So it's such a huge expectation for him to come back after what will be 9, maybe 10 years. So it remains to be seen what happens next with The Rock coming back to the WWE.
It would be nice to see them both in the same ring now that Roman has like a really strong character and that people are actually really super enjoying.
The narrative is there, isn't it? The Anuayu tree is so well established. I mean, of course, the Usos, Rikishi, Alpha and Sika. I mean, like even the Yokozuna Icons documentary, which I urge everyone to go check out on the network, is that it's such an expansive look at to how strong the bond is with the family. It's just the missing piece of the puzzle is getting Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson back in the fold to be able to claim his seat at the head of the table, and to see Heyman against Rock once more. Oh, take my money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's just the only thing is just like, when does he have the time? That's the problem. It's just like, when could he give at least maybe 2 months maybe? Because what he did with John Cena, he did Raw, then he flew, and then he started doing movies. So it's just so his schedule is really tight. So I don't know. We'll have to see.
I mean, if you can give him 3 phone in, kind of interviews, video interviews, that will suffice for a couple of weeks. We're not going to have to see him in person at least 3 or 4
Oh
times.
no, there's going to be some
for that
fans that are going to
build.
complain about that. I have to say.
Of course they
Okay.
will. They're wrestling fans. It's what we do. But I mean, I think that you can get away with having them in on video and having them split screened and have them talk, but maybe 3-4 times until you finally see them in person, 2 or 3 times, and then we have either SummerSlam or something like Survivor Series or whatever.
I mean, I disagree.
huge event.
Considering they're going back on the road in 3 weeks, going back in front of live fans, they're gonna
That's a good point.
they're gonna want the pop. Like if it was the Thunderdome era, then yes, obviously it'd be a different story altogether. But we are talking about WWE getting back to normal, getting back to how we remember wrestling to used to be. They're gonna want to have that pop in front of the crowd, so he's gonna have to be there in person wherever they may be during the tour.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
It's hard to even think about things being back to normal. You're absolutely right. Yeah. I'm still thinking in a pandemic sense, but you are absolutely correct.
July is coming up, guys. So
Days.
Mm-hmm.
So to get to an ugly segment, Nikki Bella has apologized for past comments 8 years ago about China. Back when she was on Fashion Police, which was hosted by Joan Rivers, made comments saying China, looked like a man, whatever.
Okay, let's just first make everybody understand. The Fashion Police back in the day was very vulgar comedy where you're supposed to insult the person on how they looked, what their dress was, things like that. I mean, Joan Rivers was very famous on doing that, even though that she's like the queen of plastic surgery from her time. God rest her soul by any means. But so it's just like Nikki Bella and Brie Bella, they were on Fashion Police, and they had to go with that kind of comedy. Unfortunately, they probably made fun of Hulk Hogan because they had Hulk Hogan's picture as well as Stacy Keibler's. So they had to at least insult their former coworkers.
Yeah, and they have come out and apologized, said it was in bad taste, in which they wouldn't have done it.
Exactly. I mean, everybody said something about China. Let's not play innocent or try to be defensive, being defending China. I bet some of you probably said something offensive to China.
I think the thing is about China and sort of as wrestling fans again over the last decade is that the relationship we have with her and sort of looking up to her as going from the ninth wonder to the world to what she's done outside of the ring has been, we sort of come back to full circle of recognize that as, she was this badass woman. She was a pioneer of what is now women's wrestling in the modern era. And it's tough to watch these clips from 8-9 years ago, but that was the culture. She was making films in the adult industry. She was a different, effectively, we were talking about China back then, like how we're talking about Sunny today, and Sunny had a great career. So it's kind of sad in a way, but all respect to Nikki Bella for putting her hands up and say, you know what, I regret saying that, because I think she quite easily could have brushed it to one side and said that was that, but she recognized that China was a pioneer, and I know China's family came out in a statement saying they accept her apology, and it's something that we all need to move on with.
Yeah, I'm definitely all about someone needing to say, hey, I was wrong about this, and especially if you watch that documentary and you don't come away from it just seeing how fantastic of a person that China was, and how warm and loving that she genuinely seems in a lot of those scenes, even when she's not 100% coherent, then I don't know what you're seeing in that podcast. So or we're doing a podcast in that documentary.
Yes.
So I mean, I was so wowed at the end of that. I mean, it is very sad, but I was also really happy to realize how much of a just fantastic person that she was. And if you don't see that and then say, you know what, I'm sorry I ever said anything bad about that person, she's lovely. So I'm cool with it.
Yeah. Rest in peace, China.
Well, I get choked up talking about that documentary.
No, trust me. Yeah, that documentary really broke my heart. Trust me. I know.
At the end of the day, it's no longer if China is going in the Hall of Fame; it's when. It's as simple as.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they better do it for 2022. Honestly, like after everything, like she deserves her own self induction. Like for everything that she has done, you know.
I think her going in with DX was kind of like a litmus test to see how people would react. Seeing how it was mostly positive, I think she'll be in by herself within 2 years.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So kind of an update from last week. Last week's injury report included Damian Priest with an injured back. It has come out that he actually was not injured, but it was put out there that he was away for personal reasons. What those personal reasons were is not said. But if you watch Raw from last night, you can see he is back.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a weird one with Damian Priest. Of course, obviously coming off the back of Bad Bunny with the WrestleMania run, is that he's now got to go back to the Damian Priest we remember even in NXT, and it's where does he fit in within the puzzle? I mean, yes, you could maybe suggest he go into the US title picture and challenge, but he has to be built up in a way where 8, 9, 10 wrestlers are competing for the same spot. So it was good to see him back in the Battle Royal. Obviously, he came runners up to Riddle, who got the final spot in that main event. But what do you do with Damian Priest? It's such a hard call to say where it's almost like the WWE need another belt to be able to create another reason to get these lower card guys back within the mix and get them fighting for something that means something,
Well, I mean, what I saw from this past Raw, it seemed like he's gonna be like Riddle's friend. So if Brandy does attack Riddle, or betray him, I'm thinking that Damian Priest is in the wing to, be like, that's my friend that you hurt, so now I'm gonna hurt you. So that's what it seems like. So far.
I would happily take a Randy Orton feud for him. It is unfortunate that we have to lean on the fact, say, hey, let's get him into this title picture because we can't rely on them to give us great stories right now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I think, and we can say the same thing about Mr. Baron Corbin, that we were just talking about. It's a similar situation. So I would like to see them step up their creative and just start giving their talented people great stories, and then we wouldn't have to worry about things like this.
Now, I want to put a question to the three of you. We know that a draft should be coming towards the end of August, start of September, after SummerSlam, which we'll come on to a little bit later in the podcast. Where do you put Priest? Where do you put King Corbin? Where do you put all these guys that are in the mix? Where would you shuffle the pack?
I would personally like anyone that's been called up from NXT to either show to remain where they are. In most situations, I think, just because I think it's going to confuse people that aren't already familiar with them. For the people that don't watch NXT, I don't know why you don't watch NXT if you don't, but because you should be. It's their best product, but. I would like to see a lot of them stay in the same place. I like where Seth and Bailey are right now. I think that's good. I'd like to put Bray Wyatt anywhere that he can be on television. I don't know. That's a pretty interesting question. I think Charlotte Flair should have her own show.
I mean, if they're thinking of turning Corbin face, I mean, they could move him to Raw. I mean, Baron Corbin versus Sheamus match is intriguing. I mean, I don't think I've seen them face each other. Have they?
I'm sure they have on Raw or main event or along the way.
Probably.
Or house shows, maybe.
Yeah, no. But I mean, because Baron Corbin, I think he needs to stay away from Roman because they have that long feud with the. Yeah, so yeah, and then Drew McIntyre, I think he needs to move to SmackDown. I think that will help his character a lot.
I'm sort of diving into that, I mean, spoilers. Drew McIntyre is in the Money in the Bank match.
He ain't winning it.
in a
No,
couple
he
of
ain't
weeks'
winning
time
it. No.
after winning that triple threat. I mean, yes, we can safely say he's not winning it, but even him being in that mix, having that title, obviously, from the UK perspective, any British world champion will take it, and seeing Drew being on top for the last year and a bit has been fantastic. But the last couple of months where he's had shot after shot after shot, and now the possibility of seeing him with the Money in the Bank briefcase, it either spells heel turn or they are just running out of ideas. And of course,
I would love that. I
to
would
tie it
love
all
that.
together
Could you
Bronson Reed
imagine?
and
I could see that though. Like Drew McIntyre winning Money in the Bank and then Kofi Kingston winning the title again and then Drew cashing it in on him. Ooh, that's major heat right there. That would make his character change so much. And that would rejuvenate him so much.
And then Big E takes it off of him.
There, see, look, there you go.
I mean, just to bring it back to what we were saying, of course, Bronson Reed and Karrion Kross have been backstage at Monday Night Raw. They're both featured on the main event last week and I believe this week as well. I mean, with two figures like that, obviously current title holders were down in NXT. Is that where do they fit in? Do they have another year or two down in NXT, or do you think maybe they could liven things up on Raw and SmackDown?
Well, I think it'll also depend on how the Great American Bash goes for NXT in the next 2 weeks, just to see if they lose the titles. Oh yeah, so maybe they'll just probably have them feud maybe one more month, and then maybe they'll be called up from the draft. So
yeah, I think Cross is definitely destined for Raw or SmackDown sooner rather than later.
He fits more for Raw.
SmackDown. Ooh.
Bronson Reed, I didn't really see coming up that quick. I do love Bronson Reed. He's got a great look and a great vibe about him. I wouldn't mind him on the main roster.
I see him more on SmackDown because, to me, it's not taller guys. It's average, size type of guys, or at least almost 6 feet or something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I could see that maybe.
Bronson Reed and Otis feud.
Yeah, I would the battle of the big guys. Yeah, why not?
I mean, I wonder if we can assume that WWE is going to pull another one of their, major creative resets in a way, as soon as the fans come back, and we're going to get a lot, maybe even 60, 70% of storylines just absolutely start over.
Oh no, of course. No, the major reset they need is for the women. I'm sorry. Both Raw, Raw's women's division needs a total reset. I want Becky Lynch to come back because that women's division is atrocious right now. It's sad to see that because they have talented women, but it's atrocious on their booking.
I need Becky in my life.
I think you're right, Orlando. I think, and this is going to be such an unpopular opinion, but I'm here on Booker Bomb Entertainment now. I think the way that the both women's divisions are at the moment right now, it's worse than the Diva days. It's worse than that.
At least SmackDown is a little bit more workable because
Raw
at least they book. Yeah, Raw is terrible. Right now they're using all the women, but it's just atrocious they're booking them. I'm just saying. And I just want for me, I think Naomi would be perfect going back to SmackDown, and especially being a part of the whole Roman, because she is technically family because she is married to the family. So I mean that could work right there,
Yeah, I completely agree, and even with Alexa Bliss and Shayna Baszler,
she's been booked so horrible.
Marina Shafir got released in the latest rounds of cuts. I mean, do you remember when we flirted with the idea of horsewomen versus horsewomen, and we were all getting excited with that? It just feels like a foreign time to me.
Triple H is losing his mind right now because I mean he
of
set,
course he is.
he set everything up for gold. He's losing.
I genuinely don't think it's Triple H. I think it's other people.
No. Look, Triple H has said. I think Triple H has said, when they go up to the main roster, it's out of his hands. He can't really do anything about it.
That's what I'm
Unfortunately.
saying. Like he's given so much potential for all these great storylines on the main roster, and it's been completely shat upon. And I kind of feel bad for him on this one. I really do. In a lot of situations, Aleister Black, Nikki Cross. The list goes on. At least Rhea
Well, no,
looks
no, no.
good
I
now, but
actually
like
like
I don't know
Nikki
how long that's going
Cross's.
to last.
I actually like what Nikki Cross is doing right now. At least
I
it's
like it now.
fitting
I
for.
love the superhero thing, but I mean,
Yeah,
like
of course, it's very cute.
in terms
I love it.
of the whole, last 2 years, like why does every female storyline have to be we're best friends now we're not best friends? Like, come on, like just give me more than that. We're never talking about besties with the guys. It's always with the girls. Why does it have to be like that?
Mm-hmm.
So while we're on this subject a little bit, it's been reported that Vince McMahon is going to be backstage at NXT this week, kind of scouting some talent, looking to fill some empty spots in the roster for Raw and SmackDown with the latest releases. So as has been reported, Bronson Reed, Karrion Kross, Scarlett, and Shotzi Blackheart have all had kind of tryout matches to see where they might fit. It's not known if it's
Shotzi,
going to be anybody else.
Shotzi is going to be such a major star for them. If Vince does not fuck her up, I'm just saying, like
Think about what you're saying. Think about what you're saying.
I know, but it's like she's like the modern day Lita, like Shotzi Blackheart. Like imagine like that, like a cool ass chick that could do high flying moves.
If they don't like Ruby Riott, they're not going to like Shotzi Blackheart. I'm sorry, I hate that. I love Shotzi, but I feel like they're very similar.
The thing is, I don't. What is going through Vince McMahon's head? I mean, rewind 6 months, and the whole push was NXT India. We had NXT UK pre-pandemic, and we got NXT. We got the 3 separate entities where he's got a wealth of talent to draw upon, and yes, you can factor in the pandemic and travel restrictions, and that's fine to an extent. But what else can you do? He with NXT India, that's been very much taken a huge hindrance, of course, with the Bollywood Boys being released, and there's obviously less progress being made with NXT India than there was with NXT UK, and of course, even with NXT UK, they've just taken Piper Niven and made a dewdrop, which is just disappointing, considering how excellent NXT UK women's division is at the moment compared to the rest of the entire company. So it's just a shame what's going on within the developmental system. So unless Vince McMahon finds the next Brock Lesnar in the Performance Center, casually
he's
pushing
there.
it's going to be
He's there. What's his name?
Parker Bordeaux.
Parker Bordeaux.
Yeah, Parker Bordeaux is there. So they're saying that he's like the next type of Brock Lesnar. I don't see it, but whatever. I mean,
their only hope, going back, you said about the women's division, their only hope is on 2 women in NXT UK. That's Blair Davenport, better known as Bea Priestley, and their current NXT UK Women's Champion, who they just brought in, and I can't think of the name.
Mako. Oh my god, I love Mako. Oh my god, she is and she wants to come to the main roster because she wants to face Sasha, Bailey, Charlotte. So I'm thinking like she's waiting for
Satomura against Asuka in a proper match and not a WWE scripted match. Oh my word!
Ding ding ding! Jackpot.
No. You know what was Sasha's best match was when she faced Io in NXT. That was a good match, I have to say. And I don't know who else he wants, like Vince McMahon, honestly. Like, I mean, there are a few giants. I think. What's his name?
Kaylee Ray, I think, will make it there eventually.
Oh no, yeah, I think that's probably why she's off TV right now. I don't know if she's probably gonna have a rematch coming up with Mako, and then she's probably gonna come to the. I would like her at NXT Prime.
Probably that's what's gonna happen first. I don't think she's gonna go straight to Raw or SmackDown, but you never know. Piper did.
Yeah, but I'm sorry to say this, but I think 5 women from NXT could be added to either Raw or SmackDown. Like Raquel's probably ready. Dakota's very ready right now. Like her character is really good. Ember could go back. I mean, I don't know if she wants to go back, but I mean,
Tegan-
her and
I think
Shotzi would be
Tegan
an
Knox.
amazing tag team.
Hey,
Tegan
since we're
Knox when she comes
talking,
back from injury.
since we're talking so much about NXT UK and people that came from there, can we send Pete Dunne to Raw and can I have the Broserweights back, please? Can I?
No, but that's a comedy though. But he's now very
But-
much a serious hero.
It's so
I can't see that.
good. It was so good. I was a huge fan.
But no, but Riddle's doing well with Randy. Actually, I have to say Riddle is having an amazing year. Like this is his year with all of the incredible matches, segments that he's been having on Raw. Everybody's talking about him a lot. So I have to say Riddle, whatever he's doing it right. And even Vince McMahon likes him. So
Moving on, this week in Raw, we did see the reintroduction, sort of the 24/7 title. Changed hands a couple times during the show. Glad to have it back, yeah or nay?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, if in
you
doubt,
just gotta-
24/7.
you got to remember though, like they're gonna go back to live crowd, so they're gonna have to have like that comedy segment or some sort of like interruption type of segment throughout the show because
Got to go to the bathroom at some point.
yeah, exactly. Or like if they have like a bathroom break, I don't know. So
There's not enough time. It just comes out of nowhere. They're always like,
yeah,
30 to 90
But-
seconds.
yeah. But I feel bad for like Drew Gulak and Akira Tozawa. Like it's just like
Do you remember Backlash last year when Akira Tozawa came back and the ninjas and everything?
Oh.
Oh my god! Like compare
with
that
the
back to now.
octopus, whatever kind of creature octopus he.
Hey, there is one positive thing that came out of that. Omos is now a champion. So at least he has somehow graduated from that storyline.
No. He graduated from being a black ninja to being the security for Shane McMahon to now being the one half of the Raw Tag Team Champion. So he had his little share of like different gimmicks. So
Fake Diesel.
Fake Diesel.
I'm just waiting for him to have like a decent one-on-one match with somebody. Hopefully he'll have like one of his like a good match soon. So hopefully.
So Alex Riley wants professional wrestling to unionize. He was on Booker T's podcast. He went into it, went on a little bit of a rant. Booker went back later and asked Riley to expand on why he felt unionization was right for wrestling business. Riley elaborated that he felt it would help give the talent a stronger voice, would also give the wrestlers below the superstars more of a chance to make money and succeed.
Yeah, I mean, like we've been here, done it before, haven't we? Unionization has been on the table for as long as Vince McMahon has been making money over the years. Jesse Ventura tried it, I saw last year. There was a massive drive.
30, 40 years ago. Imagine that. Like he tried doing that like 30, 40 years ago. So
it's insane. And even now, like a sort of post speaking out movement and sort of recognizing where wrestling is at within the society and culture, there is a huge movement to unionize and to protect workers and ring crew and referees and sort of everyone within the business. Is that it takes just as big a revolution of Vince McMahon to do it. Now, whether that is somebody like Tony Khan or whether that is an indie promoter who's willing to put their cojones on the line and say, you know what, this is what we want to do, who knows? But
Dave Honor.
Why not Danhausen? Danhausen will be our leader.
Please.
Danhausen says we should have a union. Danhausen will make it happen.
That would be very nice.
Imagine
Here's
what I'm thinking. Yeah, here's what I think. When WWE is bought, I'm thinking that's when it's going to happen.
Well,
so the rumor is that they're being bought or they're going to be selling. So the only way that unionization may happen is like one of these big corporations buys WWE.
Okay, so here's another thing though. Like all of the union talk was mostly discussed while WWE was the main large game in town. Now we have AEW where the wrestlers are treated very well. And so how are I would be interested to see how many people from them would actually want to join the union. And then Tony Khan would be like, I treat you guys great. Why would you want to do that? But knowing Tony Khan, he would probably be into it and be super supportive of it. So I don't know.
He deals with it on the
own,
NFL side, so.
Yeah, exactly. So
Right.
like even that's what Alex already said. Like
Good point.
it's like WWE is almost like in the NFL and the NBA. So you know. So yeah. But also he has still a little bit of bitterness. If you follow him on Instagram, he like even though he talked nicely about John Cena, if you saw his post on Instagram, it's like he's ready to really say what he feels about John Cena. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Nick Khan was talking about WWE SummerSlam helping Las Vegas economy.
Other Khan.
The other Khan.
That's what I call him.
Yeah.
So WWE President and Chief Revenue Officer Nick Khan recently spoke with Brock Radke of the Las Vegas Sun to promote the upcoming WWE SummerSlam pay-per-view, which is going to be Saturday. Surprisingly, a pay-per-view on a Saturday for WWE. That's not NXT.
First Saturday since 1992, bitches. Wembley Stadium. Bring it home. We already had England qualifying Euro 2020 against the Germans. Let's have it at Wembley, please. Thank you.
They're still talking about that, so it may happen in the future. But anyway,
Tyson Fury, Drew McIntyre main event. It's still on the table.
it could happen.
Cody Rhodes needs to put his money where his mouth is.
Do you know what? I've said it for time and time again. Yes, I may be wearing an AEW t-shirt, but the deal with Tony Khan has in the UK is so lucrative, and he's getting so little out of it at the moment. Yes, pandemic to one side. That he's co-owner of Fulham Football Club at Craven Cottage, which is a neat little 30,000 seater stadium, and so the potential is then they also have the broadcast deal with ITV, which although it's being broadcast at stupid o'clock in the morning and not even being broadcast live, so there's so much potential there. But on the other hand, WWE have invested with BT Sport that they're racing to grab hold of the UK and say, right, let's make the UK happen. Let's make it a thing. So it will be fascinating who shoots first.
We'll see.
They did advertise on Raw last night that WWE is going back to the UK. It was either late August, mid-September. Yep.
Yeah. That'll be
planning on going, Luke?
I'll be frantically searching for tickets, certainly when they come available. That is certainly for sure. I mean, one thing about August 21st, there's so much talk and hype about the card. I mean, we've seen it in the sheets the last couple of days that we're looking at Goldberg versus Lashley for the WWE title, which exactly. I mean, we're talking about John Cena, who's obviously flirted with every single wrestling fan during his press tour for Fast and Furious 9, saying he's coming back, but we know he's coming back, but he's not giving us a date. Of course, Becky Lynch is in the mix, Ronda Rousey's in the mix, Brock Lesnar's in the mix.
Well, no, Ronda no more because she's pregnant right now, so we have to wait until next year.
Oh, like that would stop her. She would still come out and give an armbar just for the sake of it. So they're really putting all of their marbles on the 21st of August in the Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, of course.
Of course.
One of the main selling points, of course, Nick Khan was talking about the Las Vegas economy. On the same night, you've got Manny Pacquiao against Terence Crawford across the road. They're looking to make the show a shorter length to encourage fans to hop across the road and go get there in time for the main event and see World Championship boxing on the same level as wrestling at the same time. So that'll be an interesting.
They did say they're going to end the WWE pay-per-view before, I think, the main event for boxing. So they're trying to have as little crossover as possible.
I mean, for us in the UK, it's still 4 a.m. So fuck you, America. But it's hey, fuck the West Coast, huh? But it is what it is. It'll be interesting to see how they pull it off. And sort of how it unfolds, but SummerSlam is WrestleMania this year. I mean, they had so much bad luck with WrestleMania this year with the lightning delay and and sort of the rain in between that weekend.
Stupid
They're
Florida.
everything into Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So it's to quote a rival company, it's double or nothing. It very much is.
Hey, if you
So-
want to sell some
Mhm.
tickets, have pregnant Ronda Rousey put Becky Lynch in an armbar. Do it safely. Everyone be careful. But you would get the entire world.
Oh my God! It's a pregnant women fight.
Right.
Oh my God!
By God, she's pregnant. By God. By God.
But I mean,
no,
like,
wait! It's Michael Cole. Oh my!
oh my!
Oh man.
So speaking of returns, Alberto Del Rio has expressed interest in return to WWE.
Next.
He
I mean, I've
he said
I
he
guess,
said he was open to a WWE return and potential Hall of Fame induction. I don't see a Hall of Fame induction.
Wait, hold up. Wait. I thought he said he never wanted to come back. Now he wants to come back. Didn't he say that in an video before?
Hey,
Oh,
if he wants to come back and job to Ricochet and fucking Jinder Mahal on main event, I'm all about it. Go right ahead.
Yeah. What can we say about Alberto El Patron? That's nice, really. I mean, like he's obviously got his match against Andrade El Idolo in late July for Lucha Libre. There, he's also got his court appearance. He's doing it, but he'll never like he'll never ever.
Luke, I
Yeah.
like you already.
Money well
Next subject, please.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He'll never ever step foot in a WWE ring again. I think it's very much a Benoit moment where, and this goes back to some part of the booking that, the last time Edge won a world championship or was in a one-on-one world title fight was against Del Arsehole at 27 to open the show, which of course was Edge's final match before he retired 10 years ago. So yeah, it's a dark moment in our history, a dark moment in modern wrestling history, considering 5-6 years ago he was being touted as the Mexican John Cena and really had all the potential within him. But how can people be such assholes,
Conversely, if you'd like to give me Ricardo versus Dominic Mysterio, I would very much welcome that.
I reached out to him on Twitter over the Royal Rumble weekend in January about his cameo in the 2012 Rumble. In the pure shithousery, bonkers match that was, with Mick Foley, Santino, and Ricardo just thrown in for old times' sake. Apparently, that's one of his experiences at the company. So fair play to him, and it's a once in a lifetime shot that you're going to be in a Royal Rumble, let alone in a spot like that.
Mm-hmm.
The last segment we'll get to, we'll say it should be a lesson to many outside the business who want to look inside the business. Kenice, I'm not sure how to say her first name, Mobley. That name doesn't sound familiar. She's
Kenice Mobley, the
Yes.
WWE writer.
Yep, she was a stand-up comedian podcast host who got hired by WWE and then released a week later for going on the Asian Not Asian podcast and saying that she didn't know anything about the business and still got hired anyways, and didn't know if their champion was Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Being devil's advocate, they said it was not because of that podcast. It was something else internally. So we don't really know why was it that she was let go, because she didn't even start in WWE as the writer. So she was hired, and then something internal happened, and then that's when she was let go.
According to a few of Fightful's inside WWE sources, it was backlash between the fans and some of the wrestlers feeling disrespected. So maybe the lesson should be don't disrespect the business like that.
Yeah.
I think there's multiple layers to this. Of course, as somebody who is a journalist and a broadcaster, there is a creative writing element where, and I'll try not to say the words Vince Russo, If you're a creative writer on television or films or whatnot, that there is so much adaptability to bring him to wrestling that could provide a fresh approach. And whatever you think of Russo, his booking brought a fresh approach to the business. Now what she's done is, if she's got an opportunity of a lifetime, I mean, anyone here would give every dollar, every cent, every pound sterling they have to be able to be in the position she had. And she had her time in the sun. Whether she understood the business or learned all the time is another thing, but she tried. She can. I think she's in a position where, yes, she may be let go, separate to all this issues, that she still has taken a lot away from the experience of being involved with the company. And I think the last point is that whoever they bring in next is that they have to have that. It's almost the Jim Cornette scale, isn't it? That it's finding the balance between somebody who is deeply invested in the business and understands the rich history that this business has, and finding somebody who has such a talent that can produce a narrative, produce a story that can be told physically within the ring, but also outside of the ring, and can be pushed and can draw us in each and every week. And when you're producing 3 hours for Raw, 2 hours for SmackDown, NXT, and main event, and then the pay-per-views once a month, is that it's a huge responsibility. But for the right people in the right positions, it can be gold.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think I don't understand. Like, if you get hired somewhere to do something and you don't know much about what's going on, and you try to talk out of your ass, I don't know. I kind of feel bad for her because she's obviously very good at her job. But that was, I think she just kind of misspoke. It's almost like she scammed her way.
Yeah. Like, you don't have to say the names, you could just say literally oh, I just got here. I don't really know the business too much. I'm trying to learn everybody's names, Hopefully I get to know everybody's names so that way I can work with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
See? That's a nice little PR kind of come on.
Yeah, and as much as we can sort of give her a bit of sympathy on the side, she is working with people like Bruce fucking Pritchard. He's been in the game,
but also at the same time, it's WWE too. Like their mindset is not wrestling. Their mindset is entertainment. So exactly. Of course they're going to be.
But okay, let me put this to you. Obviously, with Peacock having a strong influence within the game, do you think that maybe will influence writers from over there to come over and migrate into WWE to make it more Peacock X? Do you think that's a move that NBC will want to do?
Unless they buy them, that's the only way that I see it. Because the rumor is just that NBC Universal is buying them, so that's what I think. It would be smart for them, like USA Network getting their writers, because they have some good TV shows on their network. USA Network, they have an amazing drama series that they could probably maybe bring in some writers from there. Fox has some good shows too. They could have some writers there. So,
if you give me the writers from Parks and Recreation and half of the of the writer of the roster from WWE, you're gonna get a solid product. I'm just saying.
And how about have some of the producers be some writers too? I don't get it. I don't know. If a wrestler, after he retires, if he wants to really give back to the business, why not be a writer? Help out with the writing and the promos.
Well, this is it. I mean, even with Samoa Joe coming back to NXT and taking on more of a scouting role within the company. I mean, obviously we've seen post WrestleMania, Carlito had tryouts. We had Molly Holly's had tryouts behind the scenes, so that there is more of an influence nowadays to performers to give back within the business to help book and help try out with the pencil. Jason Jordan, of course, a famous example where his career was cut short far too soon. Is now a producer. I'm pretty sure he's still within the company. That it's valuable experience where that they are, although they are internalizing, they're still producing good content and something that is a believable product.
hmm
Who could argue with that?
Hmm.
Yeah. Who can?
Brian probably.
Yeah, Brian. Yeah, where's Brian?
Ooh, I'm waiting just a day for Luke and Brian just to have a little one-on-one.
Oh, it's going down. It is going down. So glad that you're here with us, Luke. This is really fantastic to have you on board.
Yes.
We are glad you're here.
Yes, we are.
Is it arguably the best signing in all of wrestling infotainment? I think it is. I think it genuinely is.
Drop the infotainment on us.
All right, so we will cut the show out here. As it says in the banner down below, don't forget to subscribe and rate our podcast on Apple. Give us a 5 stars, subscribe to it. Like us on our Facebook page. Soon to be coming, we're loading a Facebook group. You can interact with all of us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and Twitter at BuckleBombENT. And shop for our merch at shopbucklebomb.com.
Yes.
Daniel, where can they find you?
You can find me at DMC Grizzle on Twitter, Instagram, and you can find me purchasing my tickets to wrestling events from the arena itself.
You can follow me. You can follow me, guys. Huh? Oh,
I mean, yeah. Let's. Do you know what? As one final point here, 10 years to the day that CM Punk dropped that pipe bomb on Monday Night Raw as John Cena lay there awkwardly in the ring. Just quick final thoughts from the three of you. Do you think it's as meaningful and as effective as it was 10 years ago? Do you think it's an overrated promo? Your thoughts on it all?
I think in terms of just, well, okay, I'll say this in two ways. In terms of wrestling overall, of course, absolutely. I'll say in terms of, WWE, 5,000%, because how many promos today do you hear on any WWE product that you believe or don't seem like they're completely tone deaf? And so to have something like that was so incredibly shoot worthy and correct and also fit so perfectly in with a character, it still to this day is mwah. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I actually wasn't watching wrestling 10 years ago, so I wasn't around for that moment. But, I've seen and heard it since then. And the fact that it's still talked about the way that it is today speaks for how relevant that it actually is.
Yeah. And also it brought back a lot of fans because a lot of people left after like the Ruthless Aggression era. And also it brought in some like wrestlers that you never expected to be there. Like I remember when Ruby, when she was released, she said like she never thought in her wildest dreams she'll make it to WWE, and she did. A lot of these wrestlers never thought they would be able to go to WWE, thanks to CM Punk, because he was kind of like the indie star that made it. So,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And he said so much facts about Cena. I'm sorry, I hated Cena at that time. I was just like, yeah, he was so right about what he said about Cena. So, yeah.
I mean, of all the things that John Cena said on his F9 promo tour, not one time has he said, "Oh yeah, I did get put through a table by R-Truth. Oh yeah, I did get roasted by CM Punk on the stage. Oh yeah, that did happen 10 years ago. Oh yeah, I was a bad wrestler back then."
No, he doesn't. No, because WWE put him as like their poster boy, so he doesn't care about that. He knows that WWE knows that they love him, and he loves WWE because like he put him on the map for over a decade. So, yeah.
All right, and Luke, where can they find you on your socials if they want to find you?
They can find me at One Walshmeister on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I'll be sure to hear your comments and hear your appraisals of the fact that I've signed for the best wrestling infotainment company around. And I'll be sure to making you guys go from strength to strength in the future. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Have a great night, everyone.